Alfa Romeo have always been renowned for producing a stylish, passionate driver's car. They may not be as reliable as some of the opposition, but they definitely give a sportier alternative to the VWs and Fords of this world, especially if you work into a budget. Now Seat, since they've been redeveloped by VW, have become known as a reliable, better value version of a VW. But what's all this about VW saying that the Seat now are direct rivals to the Alfa Romeo? Well, we've got the bargain basement Seat 1.6 version of their Leon hatch, and we're going to directly compare it to the rather lovely Alfa Romeo 147, the 1.6 version. May the best car win. First impressions inside the Leon are that you get that same firm, reassuring ride that you'd expect from any VW. And this is because the Leon is based on the very successful VW Golf chassis. Now, reassuring, yes. Sporty, not really. You see, we know that this chassis can handle up to 200 brake horsepower because the Leon 20 valve and the Golf 4Motion handle superbly. But this is only the Leon 1.6. And to be honest, it's really quite solid. It could do with that extra power up front to make the engine really come alive. Inside the Alfa 147, it's a completely different story. The ride is firm, but the steering is much more lively and it gives it immediately a more sporty feel. Now, the engine is also much more likely to rev, and this gives it the feeling that it's got more than its 120 brake horsepower. As far as the interior of the Alfa 147 is concerned, it's one of those that you're either going to love or you're going to hate. It's definitely a lot busier than most cars. This instrument cluster here, although it's quite retro, it's really quite difficult to read compared to the more conventional layouts of, say, the Vauxhall or the Ford. As far as the standard of the materials used, they're very good, not that far behind the German rivals. Now inside the Seat, everything is much more what you would expect. The layout is really nice and clear and very easy to read. And the quality of the switchgear is really quite high. But I don't want to keep harping on about it, but you'd find lots of these bits in your Golf. Now this is just the basic 1.6 model, and to be honest, there isn't a lot to play with in here. But it does come with standard driver and passenger airbags, a pretty nifty radio cassette player, ABS brakes, and central locking. And lastly, the looks. And I think that Alfa win hands down again. Not that the Seat is ugly. I mean, I think that it looks quite purposeful with its narrow little headlights and strong bonnet lines. And at the back, it looks sleek and clean. But Alfa are just doing what Alfa do best, which is looking different without looking like a multipler. And the deep front bumper is something that's going to stay with Alfa as they introduce new pedestrian safety guidelines. Now, to be fair to Seat, this Alfa 147 has made not only cars in its class, but cars twice the price look dull. So, in the 1.6 guys, Seat haven't really produced a worthy rival for the Alfa. But if it was a toss-up between your head and your heart would tell you to buy the Seat because it's cheaper than the Alfa at £11,000, it's more economical, cheaper to run, and it's going to be in better nick in 5 years' time. But your heart would tell you to spend that extra few grand and buy the more lively, more unusual and more sporty Alfa 147.